How about this? A novel that will keep you on the edge of your seat. It's all about a deadly situation involving mosquitoes. And with the ongoing Zika scare, it's got a lot of people talking.
Yeah, coming up next, we're catching up with a local author to get the details on Buzz.
Good morning. Welcome back on this Thursday, just about 9:44. It's a thrilling novel about a deadly scare involving mosquitoes.
Yes, indeed. It's called Buzz, conveniently enough. The book, completely fiction, of course, but with the Zika virus on everyone's mind lately, Buzz is getting a lot of attention. And joining us with more is the local author who wrote Buzz, David Lebedoff. Good morning, David.
Keith, good morning. And Kelly,
Good
nice
morning.
to be here.
Now, as we mentioned right off the bat, this book was published. You published this book last year, right?
Yes.
2015, obviously before the Zika scare came about
Yes.
or anything like that. Talk about this weird little connection here. What led you into this mosquito as the bad guy role here?
Well, I wanted to do something that no one had done before.
Right.
Sharks have been used before.
Yes,
Yeah.
a lot of sharks, yeah.
And I thought, what is very common around here that no one has used? Aha, mosquitoes. And there was no Zika virus, or it wasn't reported.
It wasn't well known yet.
But my villains are mosquitoes. They sting people, and the really strange thing is that their favorite target is pregnant women. And the hero of my book is a pregnant woman. And there's a very scary scene in which she's alone in her house, and these mosquitoes get in the house, and she doesn't have repellent, and she has to hide from them. And she's very, very resourceful. But I never dreamed that there really would be a mosquito menace coming, but now tragically, it has come. And I'm quite sure that it's going to come this summer all over the United States when the weather gets warmer.
Yeah, you mentioned because of the Zika virus, your book has been getting maybe more attention, or it's generating more talk. What has that been like, obviously, before this outbreak kind of happened, and then subsequently since it's hit the news?
It's night and day. It's night and day. And I'm glad that the book is out there, because the book describes, I mean, it's a novel, but it describes what people can do, especially pregnant women, to keep from getting bit by mosquitoes. We all know that, but, well, we don't all know that. The National Health Service says no one's going to be bit in the United States because we have air conditioning and screens. Well, we do have air conditioning and screens, but we've all been bit by mosquitoes.
Right.
So, and the mosquito in Minnesota is not the type of mosquito that carries the Zika virus, but it could become friendly with the mosquitoes that do, and then they could spread them. But I'm pretty sure that at least all the Gulf states in Florida, as soon as the weather is warm, will have these mosquitoes, which causes terrible, terrible problems of children born to the pregnant women who are stung by the mosquitoes.
Well, let's talk research a little bit. Sometimes they say, write what you know. You know how to write thrillers, but as you said, you arbitrarily came up in little research and came up with mosquito. So you don't have you didn't grow up with a passion for the mosquito. So
No.
what type of research did you have to go into entomology and bug research?
Entomology, I read a lot of books.
Yeah.
I went online and I read magazine articles, books, I immersed myself in mosquitoes. And having grown up in Minnesota, you know a little bit
Well,
about
that's true.
mosquitoes
Sure,
anyway. And actually, these mosquitoes in this book get bred in the Boundary Waters canoe area, which really has mosquitoes. And so I thought about that, and I learned a lot of interesting things. For instance, that mosquitoes prefer pregnant women 2 to 1 over any other person. They know, they sense who is pregnant. It sounds weird, but they do, because pregnant women are breathing more heavily and have more carbon dioxide, and the bodies are a little bit warmer. And the mosquitoes know that, strangely enough. So there's pregnant women are stung twice as much as other people.
They're like shining
Yeah,
beacons in that
Yes,
warmth and carbon dioxide.
and mosquitoes can tell that from a long way away. And also, mosquitoes don't live very long, but about 2 weeks, I think. But they don't travel very far from where they hatch. That's correct. But you know, the larva from these mosquitoes goes on in standing water. One of the things that we can do is get rid of or fumigate standing water, and if you have any little pots behind your garage that have water in them, empty them, because I think it's going to be a very serious problem here. I hope not in Minnesota,
Right.
but this summer throughout the country.
How interesting that you wrote this book before all this happened and all this talk about mosquitoes, and now we're talking about it in a different light too.
Much better as fiction.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's keep it at fiction. Yeah, for sure.
There you go. David, thank you so much for being here this morning. For more info, you want to head over to buzzthriller.com. Thank you again.
Thank you for having me.